Practice English conversation. Feeling lonely at home in the evening. Daily English listening. Sometimes you can be in your own home and still feel alone. The rooms are quiet and your thoughts become louder. You try to relax, but something feels empty inside. It is a soft kind of sadness that is hard to explain.
Mark, I want to share something small but heavy. Lately, when I go home, I feel very quiet inside. The house is calm, but not in a warm way. It feels empty, and that feeling stays with me.
I understand that feeling more than I want to admit. When I sit alone in my apartment, the silence feels too big. I start thinking too much about everything. It makes the evening feel longer than it is.
Yes, the evenings feel especially long for me too. I finish my work and then I just sit there with my thoughts. I tell myself I should enjoy the peace, but instead I feel a little lost.
I also try to enjoy the quiet, but it does not always work. Sometimes I turn on the TV just to hear a voice. I do not really watch it closely. I just do not want to feel so alone.
I do something similar with music. I let it play in the background while I cook or clean. It helps a little, but the feeling does not fully go away. There is still a space inside me that feels empty.
That empty space is hard to describe. It is not strong pain, but it is there all the time. I feel it more at night, when everything slows down. My mind becomes more sensitive then.
Nights are the hardest for me too. When I lie in bed, I think about my day. I wish I had shared it with someone. Even small things feel important when you have no one to tell.
I know that feeling very well. Sometimes something funny happens, and I have no one to message. It makes the moment feel smaller. I miss having someone who listens.
I think I miss simple conversations the most. Not deep talks, just small daily words, like asking how the day was or talking about dinner. Those small things feel big now.
Yes, small things can mean a lot. I used to think they were not important. Now I see how much warmth they bring. Without them, home feels less alive.
Sometimes I wonder if something is wrong with me for feeling this way. I have a job and my life is stable, but inside I still feel lonely. That makes me confused.
I do not think anything is wrong with you. Feeling lonely does not mean you failed. It just means you need connection. I feel the same, even if my life looks fine from outside.
Hearing that makes me feel less strange. I was afraid to say it out loud. The sadness is quiet, but it is real. I am glad I can talk about it with you.
I am glad too, Anne. It feels lighter when we share it. The loneliness is still there, but it is not so heavy now. At least we understand each other.
When I go home after a long day, the silence feels heavier than it should. I expect to feel relief, but instead I feel a soft emptiness. It is strange because nothing is really wrong. Still, something inside me feels missing.
I know that feeling very well. Sometimes I sit on my couch and just stare at the wall for a while. I tell myself I should enjoy the quiet, but instead I feel small and a bit disconnected.
Yes, disconnected is the right word. I scroll on my phone, but it does not make me feel closer to anyone. I see other people sharing moments together. Then my room feels even more quiet.
I do the same thing at night. I check messages, hoping someone wrote to me. When there is nothing new, I feel a little disappointed. It is a small feeling, but it stays with me.
Sometimes I think about calling a friend. Then I stop myself because I do not want to disturb anyone. I tell myself they are busy with their own lives. That thought makes me feel even more alone.
I understand that hesitation. I often think people are too busy for me. So I keep my feelings to myself. But keeping everything inside makes the silence louder.
That is true. When I do not share my thoughts, they grow bigger in my head. Small worries become heavy at night. I start to feel tired in my heart, not only in my body.
I feel that heart-tired feeling too. It is not physical pain, but it is uncomfortable. I sometimes wonder if I am too sensitive. Then I remind myself that wanting connection is normal.
I like that you say it is normal. I often forget that. I think I should be stronger or more independent, but even strong people need someone to talk to.
Exactly. Being independent does not mean being alone all the time. I want to feel close to someone, even in simple ways. Just sharing small daily thoughts would be enough.
I miss that kind of sharing too. Talking about how the day went or what made me smile. Those simple conversations bring warmth. Without them, home feels colder than it should.
Yes, colder is the right word. The walls are the same, but the feeling changes. When no one shares the space with you emotionally, it feels different. That is when the loneliness becomes clear.
I am glad we can say this openly. It makes me feel understood. The loneliness does not disappear, but it feels softer. Sharing it with you makes this moment warmer.
I feel the same, Anne. Speaking honestly makes the space between us feel closer. Even if we are just talking, it matters. It reminds me that I am not completely alone.
When we talk like this, I feel something soft inside me. It is like a quiet relief that I did not expect. I realize I am not the only one who feels this way. That thought makes my chest feel lighter.
I feel that softness too. It is small, but it is real. When you describe your feelings, I recognize my own. That connection makes me feel less distant from the world.
I think loneliness feels stronger when we believe we are alone in it. I used to think no one would understand this quiet sadness. Now I see that many people probably feel the same. That idea makes me feel more human.
Yes, it feels human and normal. I used to judge myself for needing more connection. I thought I should be fine on my own. But now I see that sharing feelings is not weakness.
Hearing you say that helps me accept my own needs. I do not feel embarrassed anymore. I feel more honest with myself. That honesty feels calm and warm.
I also feel calmer when I stop hiding my feelings. It takes energy to pretend everything is fine. When I speak openly, I feel more relaxed inside. My thoughts become clearer.
I notice that too. When I accept the loneliness instead of fighting it, it feels less scary. It becomes something I can understand. That gives me a small sense of control.
Yes, understanding changes the feeling. It is still there, but it does not control me. I feel stronger when I can name what I feel. It makes the emotion less confusing.
I think connection starts with simple honesty like this. We are not solving everything. We are just listening and sharing. That feels meaningful to me.
It feels meaningful to me as well. I feel seen and heard in a simple way. That alone reduces the loneliness. It reminds me that emotional closeness is possible.
Even though we are just talking, I feel a real connection. It makes me hopeful about other relationships too. Maybe I can open up more in the future. That thought gives me gentle courage.
I feel that hope too. If we can talk like this, maybe I can try with others as well. I feel more confident about expressing my needs. This moment makes me believe that connection is still possible.
I notice that when I accept my feelings, I feel more gentle with myself. The loneliness does not disappear, but it feels less sharp. It becomes something I can sit with quietly. That makes the evening feel softer.
I feel the same change inside me. Before, I felt restless and uncomfortable at home. Now I feel more understanding toward my own heart. That understanding brings a calm kind of comfort.
I also remind myself that feelings can change slowly. I do not need to fix everything at once. When I think this way, I feel less pressure. My chest feels lighter in a small but real way.
Yes, removing pressure helps a lot. I used to think I had to be strong all the time. Now I allow myself to feel lonely sometimes. That permission feels warm and human.
It feels comforting to know that loneliness is not a failure. It is just a sign that we care about connection. When I see it like that, I feel more hopeful. Hope gives me quiet strength.
Hope makes a big difference for me too. Even small hope changes the mood of the room. I feel more open to future conversations. That thought gives me a steady kind of peace.
I think I will try to focus on small moments of comfort. A kind message or a short talk can mean a lot. These small things remind me that I am not invisible. That reminder feels important.
I agree with you. Small moments create real warmth inside us. I feel thankful that we shared this honestly. Right now, I feel calm, steady, and quietly supported.
Vocabulary 5 words. Lonely, feeling sad because you are alone. Example, I feel lonely in the evening. Connection, feeling close to someone. Example, I need connection with other people. Empty, feeling like something is missing. Example, the house feels empty at night. Pressure, a feeling of stress or worry. Example, I feel less pressure now. Hope, a positive feeling about the future. Example, I have hope that things will improve.